folks, here we are, and welcome to another River Channel broadcast of Hudson High School girls soccer. And this is a recorded game from earlier in the season due to the fact that I was unable to attend the match, and so we are setting it all up here for you to enjoy. You will have the Hudson Raiders girls team from Hudson High School in blue playing from left to right on your screen, and the visiting team from Rice Lake, Wisconsin in white playing from right to left on your screen as you watch this video. A little bit of back and forth between the teams, and it looks like the Raiders in blue are just kind of pinging the ball back and forth with the Rice Lake Warriors, and that's kind of customary for the start of a match. Try to feel each other out a little bit, figure out the timing. Sometimes there's slightly different lineups on the field, and all that good stuff. So just takes a little time for everyone to kind of get into their groove, and that's definitely both teams in these situations. There's Nevaeh Tillman, with the throw. She threw it off for someone else to take the throw. On these recorded sessions that I am commentating on here, just so you're clear, I do not see the whole field, so sometimes I cannot always see what happened or what's going on, but I will do my best. And I come from about 30 years of coaching and a good 15 years of playing soccer, so I can make some pretty good educated guesses at times as to what's going on. So with that, let's get into the match here. And you see the Raiders keeping the ball in their offensive end now for a bit. It was kind of going back and forth, but the Raiders kind of keeping that action going, and Rice Lake gets it across midfield, and then the Raiders put that ball out of bounds. It'll be a Rice Lake throw in here. Also, forgive me if you are a Rice Lake fan watching this video, but I do not have a Rice Lake roster to know who any of the players are, but we'll do our best to acknowledge what they're doing on the field as well. Nice little play there to try to swing it across the field. Usually you try to make a big cross like that. The term for that is called switching fields, sending it from one side of the field to the other, because usually the side with the ball gets overloaded, so you switch the field to the other side where it's less crowded, and maybe you can make something interesting happen. So Rice Lake here, moving it around, bringing it back, and trying to send it forward, but the Raiders defense holds there. From the Raiders, the Nevaeh there with a long-range shot, and sends it a little bit wide, and that'll be a goal kick here for Rice Lake. Big kick by Rice Lake. Raiders send it down hard down the line, and just too far out of reach for anybody, and that'll be another goal kick for Rice Lake. Rice Lake, for those of you not familiar, is northeast of Hudson, about 75, 80 miles away, kind of north of Chippewa Falls and Eau Claire in a way. So these girls had a little bit of a haul to get here for this game, and and sometimes it takes a little bit to get get your blood pumping after those long bus rides after a long day at school. So, but Rice Lake is a beautiful area. Nice lakes and natural beauty up there, and it's fun to see soccer thriving in those communities. So it's number 8 of the Raiders there fighting it out. Hannah Huntley, solid defender for the Raiders, but Rice Lake able to keep the ball in possession. A little bit of pressure there, and the Raiders are able to clear the ball up the field. Then the Raiders send it up the line on the far side and taken by the Warriors. Clay Hire there with the disruption and allows the Raiders to send that ball, and they try to send that ball long and deep, and it was a little bit angled, which isn't a bad idea. But that ball got way out ahead, and it's going to be a throw-in by Rice Lake. Really nice play there by Gracie Nell of the Raiders. A nice little footwork and foot skills showing there. Oof, the Raiders had a good shot there, a good attempt. Kind of bringing it in. The Warriors tried to trail that ball and let it roll into the goalkeeper, but there was too much pressure by the Raiders. And then I think that was Armana Rancinici.
Substituting for Hudson who is number 24, Olivia Petty.
Who put a good attempt on kind of an awkward shot and just put it over the goal. But a good attempt, good creative play by Rancinici there to give it a shot. And now the ball's moving up the field in Rice Lake's favor. Big throw in there by Rice Lake. Wow, that was a really long throw in. Pretty impressive. And but the Raiders collect that ball on defense and send it up to the midfield, who's going to try to make something happen. Raiders carrying the ball nicely there. Sometimes players tend to want to pass that ball immediately, but sometimes carrying up the field and dribbling when there is no pressure is just the best way to advance that ball. And it's good to see there. There's Olivia Petty with the ball in the middle. Ran into a lot of Rice Lake traffic there, and now Rice Lake tries to advance the ball. Big clear by Huntley. About 15, 20 yards ahead of all the forwards, and so Rice Lake's goalkeeper is able to collect that ball and send it up the field. Rice Lake getting the ball away from the Raiders' offense and getting it into Raider territory, but not advancing too far down at this point. They need to put together a bit more support and a bit more, maybe tighten up the passing a little deeper in, and they'll maybe start to see some other results. But the Raiders' defense has something to do with that too. There's a beautiful pass up to Natalie Rampton. She's on the run. She's got some pressure. Plays it off of Rice Lake, and it looks like that's going to be a Raiders corner kick. Raiders have had some good success off corner kicks in the past, and a corner kick is a fantastic opportunity for any soccer team. It's one play that a significant amount of goals are scored off of, largely because you get the chance to deposit the ball right into the prime scoring area. And so we'll see what the Raiders do here. It's a high ball. That's a nice spot, about 8 to 10 yards out. Goalkeeper, it's just too far out for the goalkeeper, but there's also usually a scrum there, so it's just who's going to win the ball in that situation. And it looked like Rice Lake was in the right place at the right time and headed that out. There's Nevaeh Tillman with a nice turn by the Raiders on defense, and she's still on it. Nevaeh with a long run there. Good for her, good play, keeping it alive. Ball's now up to Natalie Rampton again. Sneaks around the corner. Nice cutback move. Left-footed cross. Nice play. Raiders are there. A little bit too high on the ball for Petty, and they get a shot off. Not the blast that they probably wanted, but a long-range shot about 25 yards out, and collected by the Rice Lake goalkeeper. Rampton with a really nice run down there, and then pulled it back and just put a nice left-footed cross on that. And Natalie seems to be able to have that unique ability to do that with both of her feet. Seen her cross the ball nicely with her right foot, and now we see a really nice left-footed cross too. Nothing like being a coach and having a player like that to have at your disposal. So a little bit of hip check in there between Rice Lake and Ransonichi, but no foul. Wisely a no call, but fun to see the game get a bit physical. Starts to assert your presence, and like both teams are not willing to give that up at this point. Rice Lake putting together a nice little passing sequence here. To nice cutback. They bring it way back. Now they're going to try to advance it again. Now they send kind of a high through ball through, but Tillman is there with a nice header to clear it, and Olivia Petty puts a bigger clear on. Nice step by Tillman. Hannah Lundeen with a nice takeaway turn and pass back. Gracie Nell sends it up to Rampton again. We'll see what Natalie's got on her potential plays, but Rice Lake wins that battle. We're now about 12 minutes into the half. Tie game here between the visiting Rice Lake Warriors in white, playing from right to left on your screen, and the hometown Hudson Raiders in blue, tied at 0-0. A couple substitutes here for the Raiders. Looks like Maggie Salama, number 2 in the match. Maggie brings some...
Going in for the Raiders is number 2, Maggie Salama, and number 9, Britta Holter.
So, Britta Holter and Maggie Salama into the match. A couple solid players coming in, both junior players and both big contributors to this team. So not a lot of drop-off when the Raiders are making a number of substitutions on this team. So great to have that depth on the team. And will bode well for next year's team. Petty sends the ball. That's one of those situations where you try to send it to the other side of the field. The only problem there was nobody there to get the ball, but sometimes that's just a miscommunication, and it's the right idea in a lot of cases, as that one was, but nobody home to get the ball. So I'm on the sideline, fighting it out. Hannah Lundeen now on it. Rampton playing defense on the offensive end. Great play by Natalie there, and more defense. One of the ways teams can really hold the ball and control it more is if they're playing defense all over the field. And you saw Natalie Rampton showing a good example of that by, having some tenacious D there all the way down, almost into the penalty box. So, and now the Raiders have a corner kick, a great chance to score here. It's number 7, Maggie McConnell. High ball, kind of trailing out, but Petty was right there. Just, if you're, when you're standing and waiting for that ball, sometimes it's very hard to get a lot of power on it. So you try to time it, but it's not always easy either, because you just don't always know where that ball's going to go. So typically players stand significantly outside of the area, and they charge in to meet the ball, but that's all timing and dependent on when the player kicks it, how hard they kick it, how high, etc. And sometimes it's very hard to judge, but good play overall by the Raiders there. We're now 15 minutes into the first half. Still tied 0-0, and Rice Lake with the throw-in and making a couple substitutions as well.
Going in for the Warriors is number 12, Kate Scharf, and number 14, Ella Clark.
All right, some substitutes for Rice Lake, and they're going to, looks like, have a throw-in here. Or actually a free kick for some, I must have missed whatever happened. I must have missed it. Most likely it was some kind of a foul. Definitely not an offside there that Rice Lake would be taking. So now Rice Lake gets a free kick here in a dangerous area where they can put that ball into. It was, not a bad attempt to put it into the general area, but you can see the Raiders had 6 defenders back to try to put a stop to that, and they were able to. So another Rice Lake throw-in, but the Raiders, Rancinici takes that away. It's Olivia Petty on the ball again, dribbling around, trying to pass it off to Raina Fort, number 14. Salama tries to turn around on that ball and puts it up ahead, but a little too much on it, and turns it over to Rice Lake for a throw-in.
Going in for the Warriors is number 6, Abby Britton.
Big throw. Sneaks through. But the Raiders are there. Hannah Huntley and Maggie McConnell and Nevaeh Tillman. Pretty stout defensive grouping there. Oh, really nice play there, almost by Rampton. She kind of turned the corner on the defender there and almost swiped that ball away again. Heck of a play. Big throw. There's Petty again. She's going to send this one out wide. That's a nice ball, nice touch. Angled, wide and angled. A lot of times you see the ball like that get sent more down the middle, but the middle is where all the defense is usually, and the goalkeeper who can use their hands.
Going in for the Raiders, number 6, Sophie Bast, and number 21, Lily Rillo.
And so when you can kick that ball deep and angled, it keeps the goalkeeper out of it and stretches that defense out. So it's a nice play by Petty. Just got a little bit ahead, and the Raiders throw in ends up out of bounds, and Rice Lake will have a goal kick here. I don't think Rice Lake doesn't have a team in the Big Rivers Conference for boys soccer, and I think the last couple of years the games with the girls must have been away at Rice Lake, because I don't believe I've ever seen a Rice Lake soccer team, and I've been announcing for the Raiders. This is my 3rd season, so this is kind of fun to see Rice Lake and what they've got, and I've been impressed so far with solid defense, some good passing to get the ball up the field. They just still need to put a few more pieces together today to get in the true offensive threat zone. That's a nice ball out wide. Sneaks out of bounds, I think. The Raiders throwing. About 20 minutes into the first half, our score remains tied 0-0. And but it's been some good back and forth action here. Some nice passing sequences, some nice plays, good defense. I played soccer from about age 5 into college club ball, and I played primarily defense, and so of course I appreciate a good defensive match. But these games tend to turn offensive in a hurry, and we'll see what happens here. Tillman with the throw, gets it to Petty, taken away by the Warriors, but the Raiders get it back. Big blast by Rouleau. Rampling kind of wanted to maybe do something with it, but decided to kind of tap that ball out, and Rouleau put a shot on it, and probably didn't get the blast that she wanted, but not a bad play overall. That's Holter over there, and now Tillman. Tillman, I think, trying to hit Petty with that ball, but it went off her foot a little weird. She collected it nicely. Rice Lake defense swarming the middle and clearing that ball out. Referee stopping the clock. Looks like maybe somebody might have an injury or bleeding. If referee recognizes blood or players report it, then they halt the game, get a little medical attention, keep everybody safe and sound. And I'm pretty sure that's what's going on here.
Substituting for the Warriors, number 8, Maddie Gilbert, and number 11, Anna Lipke.
Raiders sending the throw up the line, but Rice Lake clearing it out. Huntley with a good play there and gets it to Tillman then with the clear, and now Petty sending it wide over to Salama. Right now on the field, the Raiders have a lot of juniors playing. Hannah Kendhammer in goal, Maggie Salama, Ava Brown, I believe, is out there, Sophie Bast, Maggie McConnell, Britta Holter, Armana Rancinici. I think Raina Fort's on the field right now, Lily Rouleau, Nevaeh Tillman, Olivia Petty, all juniors. So this Raider team really getting some great experience for a big senior year next year as well. So not only are we excited for this year, but in what this team is going to do in sections, which is actually in reality coming up next week, I believe. But also what the future holds for this team, and with a lot of juniors, and hopefully they all come back. This team's going to be exciting to watch next year. Ball by Raina Fort, trying to sneak it through the mess of people in the center. And Raiders attempt there is taken away. Would have been an offsides, but the ref waved it off since the goalie got it anyway, which is the referee's prerogative to keep the game moving. And it's an advantage call. Gotta say, Rice Lake's defense has held quite strong. The statistics are showing 4 shots on goal by the Raiders, but those are all from distance, pretty much.
Going in for the Raiders is number 12.
So Raiders really,
number 16, Allie Stubendick.
maintaining a true edge on time of possession. There's a nice cross and a nice header in. Good play by the Raiders. Love those quick crosses, and then somebody's there to get ahead on it, and that header was directed nicely at the goal, just kind of got directed up instead of down. Otherwise, that very well could have been a goal because there was some good velocity and power on that header. But those are tough. I mean, heading is a tough part of the game to do well and accurately, and then with some power. Lily Rouleau there with some nice footwork and kind of got sandwiched at the same time and draws the foul. This is on the football 25-yard line or so. So this is going to be a nice little touch play by McConnell. She's going to try to probably put it, right in front of the goal, about maybe 6-8 yards out, and see what we can do here. Or you're going to take a blast, and she does, and she gets it in the goal. That's just close enough to take a shot like that, and what a hit by
Scoring for the
Maggie
Raiders
McConnell.
is number 7, Maggie McConnell.
Off of the foul on Rice Lake on Lily Rouleau. Raiders then set up. I was predicting a little chip into the scrum,
Subbing in for the Warriors
see
is
if we
number
could
9,
score, but
Mindy Barta.
Maggie decides she's just going to blast that thing at the goal, and she tagged it nicely, and in it went. It was a nice height, good power, tough play for goalkeepers to make. May not have been expecting that type of a kick either, but nonetheless, at about the 25-minute mark of the first half, your hometown Hudson Raiders take a 1-0 lead in this match. Sometimes a goal like this invigorates both teams, so we'll see how Rice Lake responds, and it's definitely, I think, got some energy into the Raiders here, and we'll see what happens here in about the last 13-14 minutes of the match, or of the half. Big power. Gotta think that was a shot because that was low and hard. Tough angle there, but sends it wide. And a free kick here, or goal kick for Rice Lake. Raiders trying to send the ball out wide as Raina Fort, but really Lily Rouleau is a little not in the right spot to receive that pass well. Nobody's direct fault on that. Just sometimes timing is not on your side. And Rice Lake now pushing up again, trying to make something happen offensively. And Huntley sends it back to McConnell, who puts a big clear up the field into the center. Raiders had a chance. I think it sort of took a weird hop, though, and gets away from them. Thought that might have been an opportunity there for the Raiders, but darn spinning, bouncing balls just get in the way sometimes because they are hard to control. Especially with your feet. Another throw-in coming up here for the Raiders.
Subbing in for the Raiders is number 3, Ava Brown.
Ava Brown back in the match. Looks like Allie Stubendick maybe with the throw here. Gets it in and off of the Raiders. I believe. Nope. Off of Rice Lake. And that throw-in is going to turn into a corner kick. So Maggie McConnell has struck gold on a free kick that she scored on. Let's see what she does with this corner kick. It's high. It's in a pretty nice spot there, and I think that was Rouleau there. She was able to, just couldn't quite get a solid foot on it. Not a bad play, not a bad ball by McConnell. Raiders with another throw in though. Ava Brown here with the throw. And I guess that one is off of the Raiders. Maybe hit Ava Brown somewhere there, and be a throw-in for Rice Lake. We're now about just a little over 10 minutes left in the first half. Here's Lundeen with the ball. Good ball movement by Hannah, and brings it back to Rouleau. Ava Brown trying to penetrate there, but unable to. Quick sneak ball in by the Raiders. Too much defense by Rice Lake, though. Rouleau trying to get that ball, but kind of didn't quite get under it enough to pop it in the air. Stephen Dick. And Allie with the throw in here. Big throw, just kind of throwing it to space, and Hannah Lundeen tried to get there to do something, but again, timing off a hair there. Nice give and go there by Holter and Lundeen. Britta tries to send it in with a little left-footed cross, but taken away by the Warriors. And now Hannah Huntley here, sending it up to the left side of the field, and kind of just sneaks through everyone, and it'll be another goal kick here for Rice Lake. It's been a hard fought.
Going in for the Warriors is number 3, Addison Leaf, and number 16, Julia Holthouse.
It's been a hard fought first half so far. We're about 9 minutes left in the first half. Raiders of Hudson, the home team in blue, playing from left to right on your screen, hold a 1-0 advantage. But good defense being played on both sides of the field. Good run there by Rice Lake, just a little out of, she had to make a move and tap that ball out, but just got away from her. Raiders save it and keep it and try for a little cross, but the referee is saying that ball went out of bounds, folks, and bring it back for another Rice Lake goal kick. Big ball sneaks almost all the way to midfield. Rice Lake pushing it up, sends a long ball down, and Tillman saves it, kicks it off of Rice Lake. It'll be a Raiders throw in deep in their own territory. That might be about the deepest Rice Lake has gotten the ball, but not with much possession, unfortunately for them. Raiders get that ball out, and a little kind of back and forth ping pong action in the middle of the field here. Tillman sending it up to, I think that's Holter. Rouleau trying to break through a couple defenders, but hits the ball a little extra hard and gets taken, and then again back and forth. And now the Raiders sending a long ball up the field, angled away, and Ava Brown not able to do much with that, and it'll be another throw in here. Lily Rouleau with the throw. And Lily must be coming out of the match because she just dropped the ball and is heading to the sideline along with Ava Brown. Substitutes here for about the last 6 minutes of the
Going
match.
in for the Raiders is number 15, Gracie Nell, number 24, Olivia Petty, and number 22, Natalie Rumphan.
All right, Raiders back in action, and good cutback move there. Whoa! Wow! Was not expecting that, but Rampton pounds a hard ball
Goal
in.
by the Hudson Raiders, number 22, Natalie Rumphan.
And she sends the ball into the corner of the goal and puts a nice ball in from distance. So two scores from distance today for the Raiders. That's the 2 goals on the mark. One a long penalty kick by the Raiders, and another by Natalie Rampton, who collects the ball and sends a pretty solid blast into
Subbing for the
the right
Warriors,
slate
number
goal.
2, Natalie Nolan.
Raiders with a nice little support pass there back to a teammate to clear the area. Tough bounce there for Gracie Nell. Ball gets out of bounds off the Raiders. It'll be a throw-in for the Warriors here. And the Raiders get the throw. Bentley takes it. I think the Warriors throw in looked like, I don't know if it went in and came back out, but it never went into play real well. And I'll have to look up the Wisconsin High School League rules, but it appears that if you do that, the throw is given to the other team then from the same spot, and or where it went out potentially. And in some age groups and in some leagues of any age group, if the ball never actually goes inbounds, you get a rethrow. But the side judge, you can see the gentleman in the red on your screen. He's right there, so he knows exactly what happens with that ball.
Going in for the Warriors, number 26, Audrey Schultz.
Tillman sending it up. Got Stubendick in the middle, making some things happen. Petty gets it and sends a long ball in. Not enough juice there to score, but goes right to the goalkeeper, who handles that well. Down to about 3 minutes in the half. Raiders of Hudson here in blue, playing left to right on your screen, continue to lead, now by a score of 2-0. Rampton, nice play there. Kind of taps it around and then pulls it back. Stubendick trying to make a last-second save before the ball gets out of bounds with a cross there, but the ball just crosses the line. Yeah, it'll be a goal kick here. Down to about 2 minutes in the first half. Hard collision. decided to call a foul on the Raiders, so Rice Lake will have a free kick here from deep in their own territory. Under 2 minutes left in the first half. And here comes the kick from Rice Lake. A big, low, hard blast taken by, looked like Maggie McConnell maybe, or that was Natalie Rampton, one or the other. Olivia Petty trying a little tap-out move to create some space. And that ball was out of bounds before it was finally kicked by Rice Lake, and that'll be a Rice Lake throw-in. Now down to about 1 minute. Raiders with a throw-in.
1 minute.
Good throw. Warriors were there, but they could not get a good clear and gave the Raiders a potential shot back at it. And now they have another throw-in here. Really important when the ball gets into the goal box there that you try to get it out at all costs. Nice cross. Nice clear by Rice Lake. We're down to about 15 seconds, and we're going to walk into halftime with a 2-0 lead by your hometown Hudson Raiders.
6,
And we will tune in a few
3,
seconds
2,
for the second half.
1.
All right, folks, we're back for the second half of this soccer matchup between the hometown Hudson Raiders in blue, playing from right to left on your screen, and the visiting Rice Lake Warriors in white, playing from left to right on your screen. The Raiders have started off this match with two spectacular long-range goals to take a 2-0 lead in the first half. The first was a free kick that by Maggie McConnell, and she hit that from a good 25 to 30 yards or so, and put it right in the goal. And then we had Natalie Rampton with a nice kind of turnaround shot from distance, probably a good 20-25 yarders, and just well-placed hard shot, and that's where the score stands. Rice Lake overall playing some good defense, though. Those are two long shots, tough to defend if teams are going to take those shots, and sometimes it works offensively, and it's just tough to defend, but otherwise, really, Rice Lake has held the Raiders from getting into doing a lot within the true scoring area today. So hats off to Rice Lake for that. I have been the announcer for 3 years for Hudson High School soccer, and I do not believe I've seen one match with Rice Lake. So this is my first experience seeing them play. And so far I've seen some pretty solid defense. And their offense is getting the ball into the offensive area, just not able to do a lot once they get down there. So both teams' defense is playing quite strong in preventing those close to the goal opportunities. So here again, you see Rice Lake with the ball in their offensive end. Getting the ball around, trying to make some things happen, but there was Nevaeh Tillman breaking up that play nicely for the Raiders. Big throw in. Raiders are there, but a little bit of a collision by Rice Lake into the Raiders defense, and A penalty kick is called and free kick, and the Raiders' Hannah Kendhammer in goal will get this ball down the field. Throw in here for Rice Lake. A little bit of a scrum there. Hard to move the ball between the teams there. Nice head over by Rampton. Ransinici sending the ball back to the defense. Tillman sending it back further to McConnell and then over to Huntley. It's a pretty formidable defensive trio for the Raiders with Huntley on the right and McConnell at the center and Nevaeh Tillman on the left side there. They've been shutting down teams quite a bit this season and doing a great job. And again, the really spectacular side of that is they are all juniors, and so they'll have another year to really work together and build on the solid unit they already have to make something really great happen next year too. Ransinici there with the ball, tries to do a cutback through traffic, and Rice Lake is able to break that up and send it out. Comes a throw in from Allie Stubendick. Allie collects it and turns it in. Tries to set it up. Tries to sneak it through to Ransinici, and then Ransinici tries to sneak it through further, but little out of reach and scooped up by the Rice Lake goalkeeper. Seniors on this year's team for the Raiders, Hannah Huntley. Oh, my bad. I guess Hannah Huntley on the defensive side is a senior. I'm not sure what was in my brain at that moment, but Huntley will be the departing defender of that trio, and but still a solid core on that defense to build off of for next year. Other seniors, so along with Hannah Huntley, Kalia Heyer, Hannah Lundeen, Ellie Stubendick are seniors on this year's team, and so those four players will be, this is their last campaign, and they are fun to watch, and it'll be great to see them play in the Big Rivers Conference matches as well as sectionals coming up here, and see what they can put together. Here comes Rampton again. Sends a nice ball across, little left foot, maybe not as much juice on it as she wanted, but it's a little tight to the goal, but you do what you got to do. Nice play by Rampton, but scooped up by the Rice Lake goalkeeper. Kalia Heyer gets it over to Raina Fort. Brings it out wide. And Rice Lake is going to let that go out of bounds and take a goal kick here. Stubendick with a nice header there. Ball goes down to Rampton, who's going to send it to the corner. Just out of the reach of Gracie Nell over there. And another goal kick for Rice Lake. Big left-footed kick from Rice Lake there. Ramthen again on it, but a solid takeaway by Rice Lake. They send the ball way up the field, and the Raiders are going to let that go out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for the Raiders and a couple substitutes. Looks like Maggie Salama coming in for sure. Little give and go by the Raiders there.
Subbing in for the Raiders is number 2, Maggie Salama. Number 3, Ava Brown. Number 24, Olivia Petty.
All right, that's a good group coming in. Salama, Brown, and Petty. Oop, foul there on the Raiders. A little bit of physicality from the Raiders all over the place there. Probably could have been a couple fouls called. But refs they do allow some pushing and shoving, which is part of soccer, but when it gets a little out of hand, that's when the fouls come out. It's been a very clean season for the Raiders this year. I don't think I have seen in any of the matches that I have announced in person or recorded any yellow cards, and that is not a knock on wood moment. It just means this is a team that plays smart. They've certainly had their share of fouls, but they're playing smart, and that's what's keeping them in their matches, is a big piece of that. So, but I haven't even really seen yellow cards on the other teams either, so it's been just good, clean soccer this season so far from what I've seen. And it's been a few away games I have not been a part of, so maybe I've missed some of those exciting moments as well. But Petty gets that ball out. Ava Brown in the corner. Puts a nice cross on. Good job, Ava Brown. And a good clear by Rice Lake eventually, but it looks like maybe a foul called. And Raiders have a free kick from very dangerous territory. About 20 yards out, 21 yards out. Tough distance, though, because you need to get it over the wall, but then back down into the goal, and those two trajectories are tough to make happen unless you can put some spin on the ball, a little top spin to bring it back down, a little side spin to twist it into a corner, perhaps. It's a tough shot, but it's really your best option. You're too close to do a chip. You might lay it out to the corner 14, and see if something interesting can happen, but I like taking the shot there. Rampton puts a nice shot on and just goes over the goal, but a good attempt. 10 minutes into the second half, hometown Raiders in blue continue to lead 2-0 over the visiting Rice Lake Warriors. Good attempt there, too, trying to sneak that ball through. Kind of a slow roller, which can sometimes allow the offense to catch up and make something happen versus a lot of the balls that are rolling flat. They go so fast on the turf that they're just tough to manage. Raiders throw in here. All the way up Petty. There's some defense. Petty stays on it. And it's off of Olivia Petty. And it'll be a throw-in for Rice Lake. little back and forth there. And now a little hold up on the throw-in, but Rice Lake gets it in. Bringing it back. Rice Lake's had some challenges getting it into the offensive end for the last 5-10 minutes or so. See if they can get something going here. Still a 2-0 lead, so lots of still some good opportunity for Rice Lake to get back into this match with a goal, sometime soon. 2-goal leads are the most uncomfortable. One, you just know you got to keep playing hard. 2, you got the extra goal cushion, but 2 goals can happen darn quick in soccer. If we've seen it, two good shots from distance. Rice Lake can do it too, and maybe you get a PK, and then all of a sudden it's tied up. So 2-goal lead is very uncomfortable for coaches and players. Raiders would love to tag one more goal on here at least. We're about 14 minutes into the second half here. Looks like the night is approaching at this match, and it's getting darker on the sidelines, but the lights are on, and we keep playing. Tillman with a good stop and kind of stops the ball and then comes back and gets a good clear. It's a nice play. Good defensive play by Petty. Good takeaway and turn there, and then a nice chip to the corner. Just a little too much on it, though. Oh my, she actually did catch it. That was really a well-placed ball. Get some nice speed on it, and then a little chip in, but it takes a mean hop with some spin, and I don't think Hannah Kendhammer was expecting that, although she did well to recover and collect the ball. So interesting play there by Rice Lake. That'll probably count as their first shot on goal. Scoreboard saying 98 shots on goal, but I think the fingers got in the way on the buttons there. It's now down to 96. Anyway, it's the booth work is a thankless job, and for all games everywhere, I send my deepest appreciation to the people that run the scoreboard.
Going in for the Raiders, number 6, Sophie Bass.
Run the sound and audio.
Number 9, Britta Wolter. And number 16, Allie Stubendick.
At these games, as well as my colleagues who run things for the River Channel. So usually you have your stadium staff at the high schools who do a lot of the work. They have PA announcers, they have scoreboard controllers, they have somebody running the clock and inputting the stats from the game, like goals and shots on goals and et cetera. So it takes a lot to make a high school soccer game happen, and that's just from up in the booth, and that's not even counting groups like the River Channel team that I'm on and what they do. There's also the ticket takers and coordination of creating programs and all that good stuff. So a lot goes into these matches, and we certainly appreciate all the efforts of everyone to make it happen. With my team, I have the privilege of working on these soccer matches with a couple great guys on the technical side from the River Channel. It's either Jeff Munter or John Tangen. I'm not sure who did the camera work and sound work for this match, but it's usually one of those guys, and they both do fantastic work. And so they're running all the audio, visual, Oh, great through ball there for the Raiders, sneaking that ball down the field. Big ball there. Got a little too, when you're sprinting that hard, it's just so easy to put too much on the ball and let it roll. And
Going in for the Warriors,
unfortunately what
number
happened,
12,
and it's going to be a goal
Kate
kick
Sharp,
for
and
the
number
Warriors.
16, Julia Holthouse.
As I was saying, though, my colleagues, Jeff and John, they lug all the equipment up all the stairs of the stadium. They get everything set up. They have it streaming so that you can all enjoy it from your homes when it's live. So every game is live, all the home games especially, and a number of away games. And there's a whole nother side to that production, but it's exciting that we offer it. And so those guys do a great job. I'm Jeff Ian. I just show up and talk about soccer and take advantage of their good work. So anyway, again, a good second half here. We're 18 minutes in and no goals scored, which kind of is the story of the game. A lot of defense. Raiders do have a couple goals on the board, distance shots, and but a lot of good defense happening on both sides of the field. Raiders sending it in. So I'm trying to get on that, and Holter, but cleared by Rice Lake. Holter getting a run, gets it off of Rice Lake, and it's going to be a corner kick for the Raiders. And this is probably the 7th or 8th or so goal kick. And beware, because the Raiders are good at these. And if they get too many corner kicks, they're going to score sooner or later. Comes McConnell, nice ball. Bounces around. Cleared. Tillman sends it in. Goes off of Rice Lake, and it's going to be another corner kick. So again, Raiders get another chance here to put the ball right where they want it into scoring position. Comes Maggie McConnell, ready to take this kick. She sends it in. And a header clear by Rice Lake. Raiders bring it back and send a big ball in. Deflected around. Oof. Maggie Salama with a nice, she kind of stops that ball and gives it a blast, and
subbing in for the Warriors,
just goes a little high, goes across the crossbar, but a nice shot by Maggie there. We're now 21 minutes into the second half and about 19 minutes left. Score remains the same. Hudson Raiders 2, Rice Lake 0. Header by Olivia Petty goes out of bounds via Rice Lake throwing. Comes Holter again. Good cutback move by McConnell. Brings it up, sees 3 defenders and pulls it back. Smart move. Raiders drive it up. Get it out to the corner. Big cross there. Off of Rice Lake is going to be another corner kick for the Raiders. I think that's 4 corner kicks in about the last 4 or 5 minutes. So I will caution again. The Raiders will make something happen if they keep getting these corner kicks. Looks like McConnell again taking another one, lining things up. Not a lot of wind. You can see the flag in the corner isn't moving. She pops up a nice ball. It's nice and high. It's in a good location. And Olivia Petty with the header. You could kind of sense with the number of corner kicks and knowing what a quality, what quality there is on the Raiders with corner
Goal
kicks.
for the Raiders by number 24, Olivia Petty.
Great
with an
goal.
assist by number 7, Maggie McConnell.
And Maggie McConnell now with a goal and an assist. So a great night for Maggie Maggie McConnell with not just great defense, but supplying a significant portion of the offense today. So fun night for Maggie. Good work. And the Raiders lock in that all-important third goal. Still, no coach is ever comfortable. Maybe 4 or 5 goals gets you comfortable, but 3 goals with 17 minutes left is still not extremely comfortable, even if your defense has been playing great. So, but you feel a lot better with a 3-goal lead, I'll tell you that. So here we go. Rice Lake continuing to, show no signs of giving up and getting a couple throw-ins here, and we'll have some substitutes. You might notice at times that there might be a throw-in and there are people that want to come in.
Subbing in for the Warriors.
But they're not allowed
11,
to. So the rule is...
And for the Raiders, number 10, Kalia Hire. Number 15, Gracie Nell. And number 21, Lily Rouleau.
So if you want... So the ruling is... Here's a nice run by Rice Lake. Tillman with just a little too much speed there. Feet get tangled, not a foul when that happens. And Rice Lake gets a quick throw. We'll try to make something happen here. Let's go, Rice Lake. See what you can do. They send the ball back. Send the ball wide. And then the Raiders are there to disrupt it. And Rice Lake taking a little poke from distance. That was pretty far, but not a bad low drive there, but just wide of the goal. And Kent Hammer of the Raiders lets that go. So getting back to that throw-in rule, you may see, for instance, the Rice Lake had players that wanted to come in, but if it's only a Rice Lake player that wants to come in, you can only sub when it's your throw-in. So if the Hudson Raiders had throw-ins, Rice Lake players would need to wait. If both teams have players that want to come in, then they both can come in on any type of a throw-in. So, and a number of other stoppages, refs will allow substitutions as well. Injuries, not usually goal kicks, not usually corner kicks. I need to look that rule up, but some refs allow it on corner kicks, some don't. And then when there's goals scored, of course, there's subs, and not usually on penalties either. Now, you might see there that it looked like the referee was going to call a foul on Nevaeh Tillman. She kind of came in hard, but Rice Lake had the ball in a good spot. They made a nice pass up the field, and that's called advantage. So it completely drives parents crazy when they see a very clear foul that's not called. But if your team gets fouled and maintains the ball and has a good advantage to keep moving that ball, then they don't call the foul. They let you have that advantage rather than slowing everything down and having a free kick that ends up being a 50-50 ball, et cetera, et cetera. Now, they don't usually call advantage when it's down in the box, unless you're going to get a shot off, and then sometimes they will. But advantage it's a good rule, keeps the game moving, and and sometimes that's that is what's best for the team, and it's less satisfying because players and parents want fouls called sometimes, but it is a good rule to have in place. We're now about 13 minutes left in the match, and the Raiders of Hudson continue to hold a 3-0 lead in their home stadium, Hudson Raider Stadium. Tillman with a really nice play there, taking the ball out of the air and advancing it up the field. Ball was moving pretty rapidly for Salama there, so tough to control that, and gets out of bounds. Will now be a throw-in for Rice Lake. Lily Rouleau, the good move in there, but the ball goes out of bounds again. Britta Holter there sends a through ball through. Wow, that was truly threading the needle on that pass. Tough angle and somehow timed in perfectly. Nice ball, Britta Holter. Raiders get a little bit of a cross in there, and nicely handled by Rice Lake's goalkeeper. Gives it a ride. Rice Lake working really hard. They just want to get something on the board. Raiders defense continuing to hold very strong. Here comes Petty again. Again, Rice Lake's defense has played very well tonight, despite giving up 3 goals. Those 3 goals again. First 2 were distance shots.
Number 3, Ava Brown.
And the third one was
And number 11, Armana Ransanici.
Was a really nice header off a corner kick. So tough goals to defend against. But overall, Rice Lake's defense held pretty strong. Nevaeh Tillman, again, nice defensive play. Ball sneaks into the middle. Rice Lake gets clear. Now pushing into the 10-minute mark. Throw goes in. Foul on the Raiders, a little extra pushing there, and it'll be a free kick here for Rice Lake. Tillman again picks it off and keeps the ball into the offensive zone. And the Raiders try to win that ball back, but end up putting it out over the end line.
Subbing in for the Warriors, number 9, Mindy Barda.
And that'll be another goal kick for Rice Lake. Less than 10 minutes left in this match. Raiders of Hudson in blue holding the 3-0 lead over the visiting Rice Lake Warriors in white. It's been a fun match. Good match. Throw in here for Rice Lake. Still have a lot of time to do some damage here, which I'm sure they're really hoping to do. Raiders going to try to keep that goose egg 0 on the board defensively. Ball goes in and collected by Rice Lake goalkeeper. Gives it another punt. And again, Nevaeh Tillman on that ball and winning it and sending it up to the midfield. Tillman on the ball again, sends it wide to her teammates. Ransanici trying to send it up the middle. It's Maggie Salama. Some good movement. Ava Brown does a turn. Tries to send it up the right side, which she does. And that one's just a little out of reach for Gracie Nell. Be another goal kick for Rice Lake. Down to 8 minutes left in the match.
Going in for the Warriors, number 2, Natalie Nolan, and number 14, Ella Clark.
Big kick. Nevaeh Tillman hits it off of Rice Lake, and there'll be a throw-in. Nevaeh Tillman was ready to take that throw, but it looks like she's going to be subbed off.
Natalie Ramthun.
And it looks like Gracie Nell coming over to take this throw, and maybe Gracie's going to move back and play a little bit of defense. Looked like almost a handball there, but must have missed it. It's Rancinici bringing it all the way back to McConnell. Wicked hop there, and just nothing anybody could do about that one. Out of bounds, it'll be...
And for the Warriors, number 8, Maddie Gilbert.
Be a throw-in for the Warriors. Ramthun takes that one. Sends it up the middle, but cleared by Rice Lake. Big ball in, nicely handled. Tough ball. But the Rice Lake goalkeeper makes a nice play. She got enough on it to stop the shot, and it bobbled despite some Raiders crashing in on her. She's able to collect it under pressure, so nice job to her. Raiders also have a number of sophomores on the varsity lineup, and predominantly of them Natalie Ramthun, who has contributed mightily this season, is a sophomore and will be back next year to, really add to that large junior contingency that's coming back for the Raiders hopefully next year. Then there's always some new sophomores and freshmen that start to crack the lineups, and even juniors and seniors. So it'll be fun to see. Raiders have a new coach, Aaron Gehring, who will probably start to see the impact of her taking over the whole program more as the years play on a bit. Coach Steve Solom, who led this team for many years, has relinquished the girls team, and Steve will be continuing to be the boys coach in the fall. But Aaron Gehring, a teacher and instructional coach at Hudson High School, is taking over after coaching the JV for many years. So congratulations to Aaron for taking over the team, and looks like the team's in good hands, and we're excited to see how this season unfolds and the future of Raider girls soccer. Good ball movement there. Ava Brown and Maggie Salama. Looks like they have some chemistry together. Rancinici taking it up the middle and passing it up, and gets cleared out. Looks like Britta Holter back playing some defense now, given that defensive unit played most of the game. So a few subs in there to give those girls a break. Now down to under 4 minutes in the match. Salama in the center with it. Sends it out wide to Ramthun. A little bit out of reach, a little bit hot, and that sneaks out of bounds. 3.5 minutes left in the match with the throw in here for Rice Lake. McConnell sending it up. Ramthan around the corner. Gets another cross in and kind of a shot like she scored on the other way, in a way. That one's a little tougher. Right foot from the right side. Tough to get a good angle, but she challenged the goalkeeper there. And again, the Rice Lake goalkeeper came up big again. That was a tough play. And she did not want to let that ball hit the ground because Raiders were there ready to pounce. And so nice job to her. Again, another nice play there too as well, coming out for a hot streaming ball. Now down to about 2.5 minutes in the match. Throw in by the Raiders. Really low with a nice corner pass to Ramthan, who again trying to score, it looks like, taking a long shot. It's kind of a tough angle, but gets close to that upper left corner, but sails out of bounds. And actually must have been deflected by Rice Lake, because the Raiders are going to have a corner kick here. And you saw what they did on their last corner kick. Let's see what they do this time. It's another nice ball. Nobody home there other than Warriors, who get the clear. We're now down to 1.5 minutes in this match. Raiders will pull this victory out. Right now 3-0. Warriors with a last minute push here to see what they can do. Raiders disrupt. Nope, it will be a Rice Lake throw. Now down to about a minute. Nice game by the Raiders, though. Some good offense.
1 minute.
Some great defense to keep the ball just really flowing in the offensive half. Good teamwork to make all that happen. So a good night of soccer for the Raiders. And it's certainly great to have our Rice Lake friends up for the match. Now down to 30 seconds. I'd like to thank everybody for watching the live version of this, if you did it, and also if you are watching this recorded version. River Channel appreciates all of you, and again, just remember that all home games for boys and girls soccer are broadcast
10,
on
9,
YouTube
8,
and the River
7,
Channel
6,
and on
5,
Facebook.
4, 3, 2,
That's the match.
1.
Congrats to the Raiders on a good victory, and thanks for tuning in. Have a good night.